SCP-026. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-026 is to remain securely locked and boarded up at all times when there is no research ongoing. Alarms are set to alert the facility in case of an entry by civilians or other agencies. Description: SCP-026 is of 3-story public school buildings built in Redacted. It has 2 wings connected to a central foyer and was declared condemned in Redacted after it was found the floor plan didn't match up with the building's blueprints. See Interview Log 02601. Came to the Foundation's attention after several disappearances in the area were linked to the visit to the abandoned building. Scratched out lettering. The building demonstrates spatial anomalies. Its internal space is much greater than the external surface the building would allow. Hallways display variable lengths and stairs have different numbers of steps going up or down. Number of rooms of the hallways changes each time they are counted. Attempts to reach the ends of the hallways are met with failure. Thus far, entrance to the fire escapes located at the end of the hallway leads to doors approximately midway down the length of the halls. Edit. See Note 026-A. There's considerable graffiti on the interiors of the walls. Most appears typical, including gang signs and names and street art. However, the graffiti fades and reappears, changing the locations. Writing on chalkboards and bulletin boards changed in similar fashion. Subjects typically found range from standard school subjects, mathematics, literature, biology, to more esoteric subjects such as quantum entanglements, redacted, and eugenics. One research reported one board detailing information about SCP redacted, but photographic evidence showed only a blank slate. See Note 026-B. Phrase "the children used to sing" has appeared multiple times in various places throughout the building, but has currently no explanations for its significance. A number of unconscious subjects have been found in the building, mostly high school age ranging from 12 to 18. They are dressed in accordance to the school's uniforms, circa redacted. Several have been identified as former students or faculty of the school who disappeared after the school shut down, and in at least one case, more than 10 years after the closure. It's currently unknown how they are transported back to SCP-023. See Note 026-C. Attempts to wake the subjects while inside the buildings have failed. On being removed from the grounds of SCP-026, the subjects wake abruptly, experience a period of confusion before dying from extreme rapid dehydration, followed by advanced decomposition. No useful intelligence has been recovered from the subjects to date. The inability to wake subjects is similar to those who fall asleep on the grounds of SCP-026. Through the rapid dehydration only seems to affect those who've been on the grounds of the floor. See Incident Report 026-12. Note -A. Robotics exploration of video feeds have shown that the apparent spatial anomalies, for sure it's spatial and I just don't know it, are caused by changes in the perceptions of observers rather than actual spatial phenomena. For those reasons, SCP-026 does not require the expertise of Mobile Task Force RHO-8, Roadside Picnickers. That is a great reference. At this time, update. Further exploration has shown that some spatial phenomena do occur. See the exploration logs for more details. Note 026-B. The contents of notepads, books, and pieces of paper have been observed to disappear only to reappear on surfaces within SCP-026. New writers have appeared mostly drawn from graffiti or textbooks. Caution should be exercised in bringing documents into the grounds of SCP-026. Note 026-C. Several Class D personnel exposed of SCP-026 have disappeared from Foundation control, only reappear inside the anomalous building. Subjects in questions had previously complained of dreams identical to these experiences by Agent Makil. Update. See Interview Log 026-08, which we will read. Doctor redacted. Please have a seat. Agent Walker, thank you. Doctor. Let's get down to business. I understand you're requesting a transfer out of the field work. You'd like to talk about that. Agent Walker, I'd rather not. Doctor. It's your choice. However, I can't approve of a transfer without reason. Agent. Look, The agent paused here. You've seen my record. You know I worked on 26, right? I've read the report. I was there the first time we took one of the sleepers out. A lot of them were adults, then they disappeared. But they were kids again when we found them. So I see the 16-year-old boy just kind of shrivel away. I had nightmares that night. Supposed to report any unusual dreams after contacting a potential mind-altering phenomenon. It hadn't been cleared a mind screw yet. We just thought it was a weird space thing. We're just watching it till the picnickers got there. And it was a shock, you know. We weren't expecting anything like that. Anyway, I got over it quick enough. I'd seen worse. Once had a guy melt while I was holding onto him. I see. What happened next? Nothing for a while. I went to a couple of times, but didn't see anything too weird. But look, I know I should have reported it, but one of my buddies had just been disappeared after getting touched by some weird skip, and I didn't want it to happen to me. You've been altered by an SCP? Yeah. It was a week later. I was dozing onto the back of the van, and I started dreaming. Can you describe this dream? Just like the others, you've read the reports, right? Pretend that I haven't, for the record, Walker. Alright, I'm in a classroom. Just like the ones in 026, but new. Not falling apart. I know the teacher's name. I know who's sitting by me, even though I've never seen most of them before. The bell started ringing, but no one moved. I raised my hand, but the teacher didn't notice. I finally tried to leave, but the door wouldn't open. I noticed something strange with my hand. It had color. Everything else was black and white, but I felt like I was the only one who was wrong, out of place. So when I woke up, the van was leaving. No one else noticed I'd even slept. You didn't think to report this. Like I said, I was scared. This is before they found Malik. I figured it was just another nightmare. Nothing weird, and after Malik, Jesus, had his dream, well, they didn't do anything with him, so I figured it wasn't a big deal. He was put on observation. You should have been as well, for your own safety and the safety of others. Paper pushes things all so easy, don't you? Sitting behind your desk all day, you don't know what it's like. Things aren't so clear, are they? Not when you're the one hunting, talking cats in a sewer and waiting to see if they're the one not going to come back this time. Agent Walker was visibly distressed. It was several minutes before she calmed down enough to continue the interview. Anyways, it wasn't until later that we connected the dreams to the sleepers. Not until they found those Class Ds on the second floor. Still, I thought I might be okay. I wasn't actually inside of 26 when I dreamed. I wasn't sure that the dream started. You're having recurrences. Yes, they started 6 months ago. It's the same dream. But each time it takes me a little longer to notice it isn't real. And I look at my hands, they're a little more gray. End interview 026-08. Note, Agent Walker has been given a Class A anesthetic and returned to the field. Incident Report 026-12. During a routine security check of SCP-026, Agent Malik was found unconscious by his partner, Agent Jones, and in the main foyer. Initial attempts at browsing Agent Malik were ineffective, so he was moved to the transportation to site redacted. On leaving the grounds of SCP-026, he woke up abruptly in a state of agitation. When questioned, he said they had been dreaming of a classroom setting. This dream had been consistent throughout all subjects who had fallen asleep during the rounds of SCP-026.